Alara and Leo shared a bond so deep that words were often unnecessary between them. One day, Leo told Alara he needed to visit his father in another town and wouldn't be back for a few days. As he prepared to leave, something about his demeanor felt different, but Alara couldn't quite place it. Leo embraced her, holding her tightly, longer than he ever had before. She was taken aback, sensing an unusual intensity in the hug, but she brushed it off, thinking he was simply being affectionate since he'd be gone for a while. When he pulled back, Leo gently kissed her on the forehead, and as he did, Alara noticed the glisten of tears in his eyes. "Why are you crying?" she asked softly, concerned. "It'll be fine. You travel safe and come back soon." Leo looked at her with a bittersweet smile, one that seemed to carry the weight of 1,000 unspoken words. He turned to leave but stopped after a few steps, looking back at her one last time. "Take care of yourself," he said, his voice tinged with a sadness that Alara couldn't understand. She watched him walk away, his figure slowly fading into the distance, not realizing it would be the last time she'd ever see him. Days passed, and Alara found herself thinking of Leo constantly, feeling an inexplicable unease. Then, one afternoon, she received a phone call from Leo's mother, asking if she could come to the hospital. Alara's heart dropped. Her pulse quickened and a deep, instinctual dread took hold of her. As she drove to the hospital, the world outside blurred, her mind racing with fear and denial. Deep down, a voice she didn't want to listen to whispered that something was horribly wrong with Leo. When she arrived at the hospital, Leo's mother met her in the hallway, her face pale and tear-streaked. Alara's breath caught in her throat. She felt as though the ground had fallen away beneath her. "Where's Leo?" she managed to choke out, but the look on his mother's face told her everything she needed to know. With trembling steps, Alara was led to a room where Leo lay motionless on the bed. The machines that had kept him alive were silent now. Her knees buckled and she collapsed beside him, her heart shattering as she realized the truth. Leo had been battling cancer, and he hadn't told her. He had loved her so much that he kept it hidden, sparing her the pain of watching him fade away, choosing instead to leave her with memories of him strong and whole. At first, tears streamed down Alara's face as she cradled his lifeless hand, her body shaking with the force of her grief. She remembered his last words, "Take care of yourself," and understood the weight they carried. He had known this was coming, had prepared himself to say goodbye, but she had been left in the dark, oblivious to the battle he was fighting alone. As time passed, Alara's tears dried up, leaving her in a state of numbness. She stayed by his side for hours, whispering all the things she wished she could have said if only she had known. She told him how much she loved him, how she would have stood by him through everything if he had just let her. But now, all she had were these final moments, saying goodbye to the man she loved more than anything in the world. The last sunset of their love had come, and she was left to face the darkness alone, carrying with her the memory of a love that was both beautiful and unbearably tragic. As Alara stood there, broken beyond repair, the hospital staff couldn't hold back their tears. They had seen grief before, but nothing like this. Alara's eyes were dry, as if she had no tears left to shed, just staring at Leo with a hollow gaze, her hand wrapped around his, clutching it as though she could will him back to life through sheer force of emotion. She cuddled his hand, her lips barely moving as she mumbled, "Leo?" Her voice was a whisper, filled with an agony. Alara was shattered.